Hey there, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Thank you for tuning in. And if I'm not on camera, you know what time it is. This is your pick a card reading for the upcoming full moon in Leo that's taking place on February 1st, Sunday, February 1st. I am so energetically, I am so pumped for this full moon, you all, because when we think about the energy of Leo, ruled by the sun, Leo, the lion-hearted, right? The courageous aspects of this energy, because it's not afraid to show up authentically. It's not afraid to be playful in the midst of a lot of what could be drama, distractions. It Leo energy shows up to shine. It shows up to be all the way in, all the way present to bring a sense of fearlessness. And man, oh man, do we need that right now. I wanted to share with you all. There were a couple of key phrases that I read Yoga Journal for their astrology report on the new and full moon, and they do a really good job. But three phrases that they gave that really stuck with me, and I wanted to share it with you. They said this full moon in Leo, to think about it as to be able to play without purpose. Play for the sake of playfulness. Just showing up and inviting life in without feeling like it's got to be designed to do a certain thing, like it's got to manifest a certain thing. Just enjoying it, living in the moment, right? Love without condition. Love without condition. Just tapping into loving for loving's sake, loving because it makes you feel good, because it makes those around you feel good without condition. And the third thing they said is create without criticism. Being, again, showing up, Leo, being your authentic self and not worrying about what others are going to say about it, judgments, around it. So many of you I talk to who are creators, who are eager to explore your path and your purpose, but you're not sure how it's going to be received. Like in this full moon in Leo energy, it's in full moons are about releasing. It's like, don't even worry about that, y'all. Spirit is saying just show up and do it, okay? So to that end, I want to get in and introduce you all to the piles. You will notice I've got a treat for you today, doing something here a little different. I've got bracelets. You all have known me. I'm forever showing up draped in crystals. And I had these on earlier. I actually took them off. This one I broke accidentally and had to rethread it because I wanted to use it today in this reading for you all. But these are crystal bracelets, these red jasper, rose quartz, and some rhodonite. They are sold as a love pack for in with a company that I have recently established a relationship with, and wanted to share with you all because I love their products. And again, you know me, I've been wearing crystals as long as you've seen me here on the channel. It's just a part of my magic. It's a part of my protection, love, money, all of it, manifestation. I believe in the power of crystals very much, like more than I can ever say in words. But there's this company I want to turn you all on to. It's called Otter Spirit. You can look them up, otterspirit.com. And I really dig them. You've never seen me get on here and talk about a company before, and partner with a company, but I really like their products, you all. I like their tone. I like their when I learned about them, Otter Spirit, and I was like, I love the spirit animals, and so I was like, what is the Otter about? They're in the Monterey Bay area. A part of their proceeds go to protect sea otters. But I want to share with you. Notice we were talking about this Leo energy, which is one reason why I'm featuring these bracelets in this reading. Happiness, right? The otter represents happiness, and it says, "Be the master of playful living. Release expectations and enjoy every day. Let worry go, and instead choose love. Surrender to the waves. Your good destiny of love is sure," right? Remembering Yoga Journal that I just shared with you said, play without purpose, love without conditions, right? And create, not worrying about criticisms. So I just felt like today was the day for me to definitely show you all these products. And one of the things that I love about them, of course, they come in this lovely box. They come with all of the bracelets come with a really sturdy, nice carrying bag. Really nice. Got the little otter symbol on there. But mostly what I love is each bracelet that you get from them comes with this wonderful card with a mantra on it or sort of an affirmation on it. It's got all sorts of really good information. Their sourcing, I even wrote to them before I agreed to do any of this. You all know me, I keep it real. And I wrote to them, I was like, what distinguishes your stones? Because not all stones are equal. And it is their sourcing. Their stones are AA and AAA rated. Their sourcing is absolutely superb. And they even tell you here, it's authentic AAA or AA grade, anything that you get from them. So bottom line is, I don't want to go on and on. You can go and check them out. But on these cards, it'll tell you an intention you can use, what zodiac signs really vibe with the stones, and even what chakra. All right. So again, today, and these will be the piles that you choose. And I want you to look at these mantras on each of the cards. That's one thing. You may be led to more than one pile. We know how we do it. So just however your intuition leads you, right? There's never anything wrong. Chances are, if you're led to one pile, you're going to get your message. If you're led to more than one, you're going to get some messages there too. So let's start over here. This will be pile number 1, the Rhodonite. And it says the mantra is, I am kind and compassionate to myself and others. I'm kind and compassionate to myself and others. Now, the overarching theme that I was praying about when I went to the decks for today's reading for you all is how to undo conditioning, how to undo outdated conditioning. Thinking about this playful energy, thinking about this love without conditions and being unafraid to create, right? So, undoing conditioning. I am kind and compassionate to myself and others. That's going to be pile number 1, that Rhodonite. Pile number 2, rose quartz. I am loved for who I am, right? I am loved for who I am. That love without conditions. And, again, the message here, is there some conditioning that you need to get through in this full moon in Leo that's going to help you get rid of the old tapes, get rid of the conditioning that sometimes subconsciously we don't even recognize we're playing it, we're playing that energy again. Third pile, red jasper. I am brave and won't give up. Talk about the lion, right? Leo the lion. I am brave and won't give up. So there's your red jasper. All right. So take a moment. Think about those 3 piles. Think about the mantras that I read to you. And we're going to get ready to go in. All right. So let's get ready for pile number 1. Let's put these 2 over to the side. And for those of you who chose this, who were really drawn to this Rhodonite, pile number 1, outdoing or undoing conditioning in this full moon in Leo. Let's see what comes. Look, if you didn't start out with the sun. Wow. Wow. Success, life-giving, life-empowering. I love that beautiful full moon in back of that sunflower, talking about exactly where we are right now. Now, you've got the Page of Wands that comes with it. So are you ready to embark on something new, creatively perhaps, that gives you a sense of purpose in life, a sense of joy, a sense of playfulness, for sure. We were talking about playfulness. And in this Rhodonite, I am kind and compassionate to myself and others. Is this giving yourself a reset on being kind enough to yourself to give yourself a shot, give yourself a chance? This kind of feels like a reset. You've got a Page of Swords, another page. So thinking about your thoughts will inspire you. Your thoughts give you the energy to move towards success. And you've got more swords energy here. You have the Queen of Swords that comes as well, pile number 1. So this is this full moon in Leo for you, if you chose this, and we'll get to your oracles in a moment. But there's definitely like a mental reset, and your mental reset puts you in motion physically. It's like you got to think it, believe in it, maybe write about it, maybe talk to somebody about it out loud, keeping in mind you want to talk with people who love you unconditionally, talking to yourself with that compassion in that Rhodonite energy, talking to yourself compassionately, really being mindful of how you are coming across energetically, because everything is leading you towards this sun, this life affirming energy. Look at this. You've got fulfillment. You got it? Fulfillment. And look, again, sunlight, growth, prosperity. That's the energy that this full moon in Leo, and I'm attracted to this growth and what feels like really summery to me, remembering that Leo is a sign that takes astrologically comes in the summer. So there's something between now that's new and summer that it starts to really blossom, that you will see the results of it. Things that you put into motion now, attitude adjustments is what Spirit just said, attitude adjustments, realigning the way that you move in the world, and the language, especially with all that swords energy, the language that you speak, what you read, what you take in. This is what leads to fulfillment. Now you get some seduction that comes in. I love that for you, pile number one, because even though this is like a shadowy deck, so it's looking a little shadowy there, but in contrast to all this light. But I'm going to tell you, you have a lot of power right now to manifest. And it's almost as if Spirit is saying, your magnetism is seductive, but seductive in all the right ways, like not at all manipulative or, something where you're asserting your will or dominance over someone. This is seduction that makes you feel more alive. This fulfillment in the sun. It's like they just showed me people putting on cologne or perfume, like where when you go out, when you step out of the house and you've put yourself together, that you are seductive, that you are magnetic, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like you're trying to take advantage of anybody or manipulate people. It's just how you are showing up in the world. And that's what this full moon in Leo is about. Now you've got, what does it say? A sacred desire. What do you want? Because whatever it is, pile number one, Spirit is saying it's sacred. You're meant to have it. And if you treat it as sacred, seduction, if you want it to come toward you, if you pull it toward you, and you were drawn to this Rhodonite, so this is that compassionate sort of love, that is a sacred desire. I'm getting here, the more you want, not just for yourself, but want for others, then that is part of what helps this full moon in Leo energy really, really come toward you, and you will manifest. You will succeed. You will see the desires of your heart really taking shape. And doggone if your next card doesn't say it's time to celebrate. You see that with that brightness in the background. And again, notice thematically, because I all of these are different decks. That's how Spirit brings me the story. All of this lushness, all of this earthy lushness that's around you. So your sacred desires are really meant to, even here in this Queen of Swords with the flowers there, like everything around you right now, pile number one, is primed and ready to take shape. No joke. It's time to celebrate. And it says here, cultivate an air of celebration today. Spirit is saying, like, energetically, that's why you also got that Page of Wands and Page of Swords. Pages like adventurous, new and fresh, and having a reset. They're saying put yourself in the mind of celebration, having whatever it is that you desire, but to treat it as something sacred. It could be buying a new car or your home, something that you don't necessarily, you see it more as a life's necessity rather than something sacred. But if you are appreciative of that car or that home or that thing in a way that makes it sacred. You see what I mean? Then that shifts. That's what makes it seductive in the spirit realm. Now, you've got the Tower, a break from the past. This is not to be afraid of. This is literally spirit saying what has been, there's a shift. It's either a shift that you've already felt or it's a shift that is about to come. That with that Pluto energy, that deeply transformational energy, and Mars energy that presents itself, more so Mars even in the Tower, there's a need to move. There's a need to really remember, part of this, the onus of this reading, spirit said undo conditioning. The conditioning gets undone in the Tower, right? The conditioning truly gets undone in the Tower. So that's what's happening for you, is really you are ready. With that page energy, you are ready, pile number one, to truly break from the past. And it is not a break that leaves you feeling scattered or uncertain. It's a break that frees you up to really identify and feel good about going for what you know will fulfill you. You have an untethered soul message that comes, and it says, free yourself from limiting beliefs and allow your spirit to soar. So there you have it. So in alignment with undoing conditioning. Free your spirit, pile number one. That's you getting that Tower, right? Really, the limiting beliefs that we all have to deal with, that whether it's from your childhood, how you were raised, whether it's from a relationship that went south, whether a breakup, divorce, a job that didn't work out, something that you may have gotten, let go from or decided you had to leave. All those things that kind of hang out in our subconscious and teach us these lessons about what we think really is possible. Spirit is here to say, this full moon in Leo is to help you free yourself. Get up out of that cage. Take you're done. You're done, because it's time to celebrate. You are not a victim of your DNA. Your environment has a huge influence on your life, not just your DNA. So there you have it. This is also breaking away or undoing conditioning. What is it that you've been led to think about that's gotten you attached to or into a certain rhythm or routine in your environment that's not serving you? I'm told to put it over here. I got you, Spirit. Oh, I see now why. Even the colors, there was something there. I just knew it was pulling me over in this direction. So, you're not a victim of your DNA. This is breaking the limiting beliefs even of what has happened in your family, what you were taught, even from people whose perspectives you admire, whether it's parents, teachers, etc. This is what leads to this compassion and that sense of being tied to the energy of a Rhodonite, because you have to have compassion for yourself and for them. That's what Spirit is speaking to here, is walking away with that DNA, being able to walk away or pulled away, the Tower, from this conditioning. It's not about repudiating the people who loved you or that you loved. It's not about, separating yourself from them and I'm no longer a part of you. That's where this compassion comes in. It's just recognizing I'm ready to move on. I'm meant to move on. I've got all this other stuff waiting for me. Lead by example. That's how you change and shift the dynamic. You're subject to your environment, but here's how you are the one. Talk about Leo, full moon in Leo, being a leader, right? That's what you are here to do, is to shift that dynamic, to change it, to show up, not by faulting anybody or through anger, but by showing as an example, showing up and shining as an example that things can be done differently, because here comes your prosperity. And you started out with the sun, right? When you lead by example, that's your seduction. That's how your fulfillment comes. That's what brings in your prosperity pile number one. Lead by example, and you are leading with compassion. Compassion for people, all of us, sometimes just doing the best we know how, doing what we were taught, doing what we believed in, doing what we were told. But now, lead by example says it's okay if you want to break from that. It's okay if you want to change the dynamic, right? It's about treating it as your sacred right, your worthiness, your connection to the divine. And look at that. You've got renewal. Renewal. This full moon in Leo is bringing you into a period of renewal, letting the past go and beginning to show up. I cannot believe this is your last card. Look at that. You got the peacock. Now, talk about showing up, right? Talking about you started out with the sun. Talk about, being unafraid. Anybody else's opinion is simply that. It's their opinion. Ain't got nothing to do with you, right? Man, is this a beautiful reading for you. So, undo the conditioning, bottom line, pile number one. It does circle around compassion. Compassion for those who went before you, who, regardless of their messages, their methods, it's not about anger. It's about having compassion because they did as they were taught, but you are headed into a new direction. That tower showing up as the peacock, the sun being fulfilled, right? This sense of renewal. I hope you get it because this is a beautiful, beautiful message for you all going forward in this full moon in Leo. Go for it. All right. All right. So let's put this up. And by the way, I'll say it again at the end. If you're interested in any of these bracelets from Otter Spirit, I'm going to put the links in the description box for how you can get them. Really worth taking a look. And again, I wouldn't get on here and talk about something that I personally don't have, use, and believe in. All right. So next, we have those of you who were drawn to the rose quartz, which I had to restring, so I don't even want to play with it too much. I'm not sure how good a job I did, but I really wanted to feature it today. I am loved for who I am is the message there. Let's see what came for you. Full moon in Leo, undoing conditioning. You've got the Page of Swords. Rethinking some things around your abundance. Here comes the Empress. Rethinking your abundance. Some of you are writing, journaling, I'm seeing posting on social media even, but more like affirmations, more love-centered, self-care. That's what this Empress is really about. I love that she's come with this rose quartz because we know that the Empress is about self-care, is about ruled by Venus, is about, knowing that you're worthy, knowing that to have the best, to want the best, to eat the best food, nice clothes, comfortable bed to sleep in, nice shower and shower gels and smelling good and eating good and all of it, flowers blossoming. That's what you're here for. You're here to enjoy the things of the earth. You've got the Six of Pentacles. There are opportunities. This full moon in Leo is bringing you opportunities and teaching you the balance of give and take. That the more you show up and know that you are loved for who you are, that you deserve to be loved for who you are, people show up ready to give you that, and then that fires you up to want to give it right back. That's an Empress energy as well. You've got the Queen of Cups. Exactly. We know the Queen of Cups is nurturing and loving. Come on in here. All this cold weather we've been having. Come on in and get a nice hot bowl of soup, or a nice plate of beans and something that gives you some sustenance. Like be comforted, be nourished, be cared for. Such a beautiful tie-in, that Queen of Cups with the Empress. And again, tying into rose quartz, which is about love and standing in a spirit of love, standing in an energy of love. Now, you've got action that comes. What are you ready to do? I'm looking at these eyes peeking out on that card right there. What are you ready to do? Let me bring it down. I just looked at my camera angle. Let me bring these down a little more for you. What kind of action? Wisdom And with that crow or the raven, so this is almost like having learned some lessons, because that's how you gain wisdom, undoing conditioning. So you've learned some lessons and now you're amping up. Goal set. You've got some goal, you've got something that you're ready to go for, and you're ready to take aim for it. And look at this, you've got bliss. Like you are, whatever it is you're about to take aim for is going to pay off. It's leading you in a direction that you really want to go in, and in a direction of growth, because of the Empress. Everything she touches turns to gold. She emits a vibration and a frequency where the world, the universe, wants to give her what she wants. That's bliss. And noticing even the colors here, going with that beautiful pink, that soft pink. So you would really do well to tune into this energy right now of rose quartz. All right. You are wanted. If you needed to be reminded of that, pile number 2, there you have it. I am loved for who I am. That's the mantra message that we got on your card. I'm loved for who I am. And look at what you got. I am wanted. Wow. There is a home waiting within. It's almost as if the things that are really deep inside of you, pile number 2, because remember, the Empress creates and gives birth to the things that take some time to grow. She is about growth and abundance. And so this is almost, I see you giving birth to yourself, like taking some time to yourself. And maybe that's the wisdom piece here as well. You're figuring out who you are, and you're figuring out what it is exactly that you want to produce, what you want the world around you to look like. That's why you got that Page of Swords as well. And pages are new. So there's something here where you've learned more about yourself, pile number 2, about your worthiness, about what puts you in a state of bliss even. And that takes me back to that 6 of Pentacles, because again, it's give and take. So there's something here, even in your relationships, you need to know that you are wanted and valued, and that there is reciprocation. And that's a part of what you are telling people, telling yourselves, speaking up about. That's a part of the action that you're taking moving forward, is knowing that that's what you deserve. You've got an Ace of Swords coming on the heels of that Page of Swords. This is certainly a time, this full moon in Leo, and talk about undoing conditioning, pile number 2, is there's no going back for you. There are decisions that you're making. There's a clarity of thought that comes from this wisdom that you've gained about exactly where you want to go in your relationships, and that you will only go where you are wanted, where you are valued, where the dynamic between you and the other. This is work, this is family, this is romantic, anything where there's an energy exchange in the spirit of the Empress, it has to be reciprocal. It can't just be you giving. That's another reason why I am loved for who I am. Very often we gain the wisdom, of course, from doing the exact opposite, right? We gain the wisdom around something like this because we have given too much. We have self-sacrificed. We have, sometimes doubted our own worthiness, our own ability. But that's not what's happening here. This full moon in Leo is like, and you are ready. You are locked in and ready to cultivate the relationships that show up and show that they love you, and love, even again, thinking about it in a professional sense. If it's a career or something like that, it doesn't have to be romantic. It's just loved as in appreciated, loved as in valued, loved as in accepted, and shown that your gifts, your talents, your time, your energy is valued. You have universal love. I'm too outdone with spirit. Tap into the universal love that exists within and around you. Again, why did you choose this? And you know how I work. I do not see these cards. I promise you. before everything holy. I don't see these cards until I get ready to do these tape and do these readings for you. I didn't know this was coming. And I didn't know it was coming in relation to that. So if you have any questions about whether this is a message from Spirit for you, there you have it. There you have it. All right. Let's move this down again so you make sure you can see. All righty. I'm loving it. All right. Now, we have drugs that come up. Rethink your opinion of drugs. What's good? What's bad? I'm going to hold that up for you. I wonder if some of you might be considering supplements. I don't see this as some sort of narcotic or anything. I see it more as ashwagandha or valerian to help sleep or something. Rethinking could be, some of you could be very, very resistant to taking anything. Some of you could have had a past, either you yourself or someone you were involved in, or even family, where that was an issue. And so therefore you've got some really strong opinions about any kind of substance, anything that alters. But there's an energy here where you're being asked to reconsider that. Because yes, some things clearly are destructive and not to be tolerated at all. But apparently, because this has come, there is also something that perhaps is good for you. So for instance, if you're someone who grew up around substance abusers, or were married to or had a relationship with a substance abuser, and say you get hurt, you may be really reluctant to take an Advil, or an acetaminophen or something, Tylenol. You might really, because you've got that association. So Spirit is just saying, in this full moon in Leo, maybe there's an assessment that you're making around that. All right. Possess self-confidence comes for you. I'm going to put that right there by that action. Possessing self-confidence. Wow. Confidence to produce. Confidence to trust your own opinions. Confidence in your wisdom that you've earned. And confidence to know what makes you happy. Sometimes I've done so many readings for people who say, I'm at a point of Fefe, sometimes I don't even know what'll make me happy anymore at this point. I just wanted to show up and then realize I'm happy and go, oh, okay, this must have been what I wanted. But there's this confidence that's coming, that's saying, listen, you are worthy, Empress energy. Empress does not stop for one moment to say, can I have this? Am I ruled by Venus? And she's like, my whole point of being here is to enjoy the delights of the earth, of the world. So possessing the self-confidence with that, and look at this. You've got beauty, the star of opportunity. Remembering you got that Six of Pentacles, give and take opportunity as well. Look at that. Wow. Beauty, Empress. I'll tell you, pile number 2, if you don't take anything else away from this reading, what I would encourage, and based on what Spirit has brought here, is really, really spend some time immersing yourself in something that's beautiful to you. It could be beautiful music. It could be beautiful clothing. It could be beautiful movies. It could be beautiful stories that you read in books. But there's something, because that's what gets your frequency to that of bliss. That's the action that they want you to take. The action right now, the most important action around the energy of this rose quartz is beauty. What takes you in the direction of beauty? What takes you in the direction of confidence? Feeling good about being wanted. Being assured that you are wanted without doubt. Giving yourself grace. Notice that's a very Empress-like energy as well. You see her there in nature, right? The rabbits are, you don't get a whole lot more Empress than that. Definitely study the Empress. Definitely, Ashtara, of course, is the goddess who shows up here as well. I want to acknowledge that. Definitely study Venus, study the Empress, meditate on that, meditate on beauty. How beautiful flowers and blooming trees and oceans and rivers. Like, even if you're not near any of that, even if you're pretty, locked in at home, just taking the time to look at pictures, look at National Geographic, you know what I mean? Like, exposing yourself, looking at 4D videos on YouTube where they do those nature scenes, you know what I mean? Anything that puts you in a frequency of beauty, that's what you need right now. And your animal totem that's shown up is the beaver. Work. There's lots of work for you to do. And undoing conditioning in this full moon in Leo, Spirit is saying, with work, remember, there's a collective there. And there's a persistence. And you are able to get the collective help that you need. That goes back to that Six of Pentacles energy, give and take, give and take. It's there. There's a lot of work for you to do. And this work, that's why you got this action. This work makes you feel wonderful. It really does. It makes you feel confident. Some of you, going back to this drugs, you could even be in service in the medical field, in energy work, where alternate states are being reached energetically. You'll know what that is. But there is so much here. This full moon in Leo is truly here to remind you how beautiful you are, how loved you are, how deserving you are in this Empress energy. But then you take all of that and then you get to work. You work on yourself. But as you work on yourself, you tap into the love of the universe. And that also helps you work with others. Okay? Wow. I love that for you. I absolutely love that for you. And I said it at the end of the first reading. I'll say it for you all. If you are interested at all, please go check out otterspirit.com. And if you are interested, there's a code you'll see in the description box. You'll get a nice discount from based on me, my name. So I'll look in the description box. You get a nice juicy discount. Okay. And finally, for those of you who are drawn to the red Jasper, with its message, I am brave and I won't give up. Talk about Leo, why don't we? All right, let's see what comes for you. The Queen of Wands. All right, talking about some fire. Starting out, the Queen of Wands. The Ace of Wands. All right, clearly, fiery energy all over the place. Wow. And this is root chakra energy. What are you about to create or step out into? Like, this feels like a burst of being ready to really talk about, the topic of this reading when I went to Spirit was how to undo outdated conditioning. It almost feels like you all are already past that, pile number 3. Like, you're already there. You've already made the decision. You already hit a reset button. You've got the Hermit here, which is moving forward on your own path in your own way. And this is very medicinal. We know that the Hermit is very much about, it's connected to Virgo. And so very often it shows up around matters of health and routine and healing and the things that you do day in and day out. It is discipline. It is dedication. With temperance, healing, 100%. If you were drawn to this stack, either you personally are undergoing major healing, and this is energetic healing with all this Wands energy, this fire energy in a full moon in Leo, right? And temperance ruled by Sagittarius, also fire. We've got the fire of the Hermit's lamp there. Like, this is bursts. I'm literally feeling, that firecracker sort of like I just heard like sizzling. This is so powerful. And remember, temperance is a card of alchemy. If you chose this stack, there's something energetically that is being reset within you. I don't know, some of you could do Reiki, some of you could be going working with crystals like big time. But there's something where your energy has been reset in a fantastic way, really fantastic way. And it's giving birth to a new you that is filled with confidence and charm. And don't, this is not gender specific. You can be a man and still be benefiting from this feminine energy that's coming through, with all of this charm. Because remember, the Queen of Wands, she gets her way. More often than not, she knows how to get her way, but she doesn't do it by bulldozing or being aggressive. She does it by being charming and helping win you over to her way of thinking. There's that temperance. Now, you've got silence. Interestingly, I'm going to put that over here near the Hermit. There's power when you take time to just get still. Pile number 3. I am brave and I don't give up. When you take time to get still, spirit really comes to you. And so this is not silence from the sense of taking you away from anything. This is silence of where you go to gain your power. Notice as well all of those beautiful butterflies that are in this image, right? There are butterflies over here as well. So there's a transformation that occurs when you take time to get silent. That's where you do your creation. And notice how earthy that is, with that pointing down into the earth. There's something in this full moon in Leo, and remembering as well that you were drawn to this Jasper, which is tied to the root chakra. So I'm looking at this creation, even in the color scheme, earthbound. There's something that you are bringing to bear. There's something that you want to do that is healing, that is affirming, that is life affirming, that is caring, and you are bringing it. With the full moon in Leo, show up, do it. Get rid of the old conditioning. When you get still, that's your magic. Because your magic, when you get still and confident, your stillness leads to your confidence. That's where your magic happens. And look, you've got tending to what you're growing, tending to what you've already put into motion, the projects, the ideas, the home life, the relationships, all of these things that are tangible in your life. And this energy is allowing you to tend to it, to cultivate it, to strengthen it. And you get ideas for how to do that when you are silent. You would do really well to take some time right before you go to sleep at night and when you first awaken. That's when you're still, and see what comes to you in terms of ideas to create, to tend to the things that you are creating. This feels amazing for you because you've got the skills. The hermit is like moving closer to spirit so that you get the skills that you need, you get the knowledge that you need to bring it to bear. And spirit is saying, don't you give up, tend to it. Whatever it is, if you've got a project or something that's been kind of put aside for a moment, or even in your own personal healing journey, if you've kind of had fits and starts with that, tend to it. It says here, it's okay to be misunderstood. Perception is not always based on the truth. So if part of you needing this silence is because in your day-to-day journey, your how do I say, your personality is such that you want to share with others. You want others to be able to see what you're talking about and get on board with the way that you think about things, but then you may be getting pushback. I'm also getting, don't want to go too political here, but I'm getting a lot of you who may be in families where you feel one way politically and about the world we're in, and the people you are around feel something entirely different. It's okay to be misunderstood, and they may try to gaslight you, and tell you 10 different ways about why you've got it all wrong. It's okay to be misunderstood. And you go to your silence, your meditation, your music, you step away, your time in the shower, when you're undisturbed. That's what connects you back to your root. Talk about that, Jasper. That's where you get reconnected back to your root. That's where you tend to yourself, and you tend to strengthening the roots of your beliefs, of your mission, of your purpose, of your ideas. Because lo and behold, right behind this, it's okay to be misunderstood. Different deck, here comes the Eight of Swords. So yeah, that's confirmation for me that some of you have been you have gone through a period where either you've doubted yourself or you've just pulled back, like you haven't been as productive as you could be in that Ace of Wands energy and the you haven't been Queen of Wands. You haven't been as productive as you could be or could have been if you hadn't gotten sidetracked by others. We all do it. There's no finger pointing there. It's just a realization. Full moon, full moon illuminates. Full moon in Leo, undoing the conditioning. That's the gist of this reading. So this is some conditioning, because the thing with the Eight of Swords, you all remember, the fear that you're feeling is very often self-imposed. This isn't something that is real. This isn't something that you can't escape from. You could break those ties any day you're ready. This is a conditioning. This is where a habit of letting someone or something who has opinion or influence over you, or even public opinion and public influence as you're scrolling through social media, etc., and then it feeds in on your spirit. Creation. You tend to your own creation, tending to your own creation, and you put that screen time aside for a while to get silent. You've got placebo power. What in the world? Believe in the power of your mind. It can create miracles. All right, then. Look at that. Believe in the power of your mind. It can create miracles. I'm going to put that over there near the Hermit. Because, that's what the Hermit is doing. Ruled by Virgo, Mercury, communications, intellect, placebo power. And that's what happens in this silence. You have some tremendous mental acumen and power. And Spirit is saying, in this full moon in Leo, it's time for you to really get rooted into that. That's where your creation starts. It's time for you to tend to that. It's time for you to strengthen your mental prowess. And we know it all works together. Mind, body, spirit, right? That's why temperance is here. Alchemy. Mind, body, spirit. It's where you learn how to blend it all together. That's why you got all this fire here, is to kind of spark a fire underneath it. But the direction you are going in and the thoughts that you have about the direction that you're going in, Lord and have mercy. I just looked down and saw the next card that's coming for you. As I said that mid-sentence, dreams. Follow your dreams. Don't give up. If it makes you happy, do it. Follow your dreams. Don't give up. And if it makes you happy, do it. Now, what is your red, Jasper? I am brave and I won't give up. That's why you were drawn here. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I wouldn't try. I would never insult Spirit that way. And I trust Spirit. These readings never, ever fail. And maybe that's because when I go to them with humility. I go with prayer. I ask, please let a message, even if it just helps one person, let something come through and things connect. So, dreams. Follow your dreams. Don't give up. I won't give up. Get you some Jasper. Don't give up. If it makes you happy, do it. Come out of that worry stage. It's okay to be misunderstood. If others don't get it, but it makes you happy, tend to your own garden, right? Learn from your mistakes. Don't harp on, and we all do it, the people who misunderstood us, the people who didn't treat us fairly, the situations in the job or the family where we did everything we knew how to do and we were unappreciated or undervalued. And it's a part of this empowerment in the hermit energy and in the temperance and that healing is recognizing the role that we play in that. It's so easy and tempting to point the fingers at what they did and why they did it and why they're wrong and they don't understand me. But there's power in the silence of recognizing the role that you played. Even if that role was being afraid, being feeling like you didn't have the power or the knowledge or the impetus, Ace of Wands, to resist it, but now you do. Because look, you've got balance coming with this Libra energy. Now some of you might be Libra sun, moon, or rising. You might have Libra influences or in your family around you, but there's a balance there. And that balance is going from the past and learning from your mistakes. That balance is learning how to strike a balance that you are at peace with between your dreams and your desires moving forward and those of others. And if they differ, then they differ. It doesn't make them wrong, and it certainly doesn't make you wrong. It's really is striking a balance. And also remembering when we get Libra energy, we usually are talking about some form of relationship within families, friends, neighbors, whatever. So there's a balance that's being called for here. And it's honoring your knowing, your creation, what you want to do and what you want to tend to with what other people's ideas. And even if especially if those other people are pointing out, well, when you tried this before, it didn't work. Well, when you had that relationship, remember what happened with that. Da, 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 da. We've all been there. But you've learned from that. You strike the balance. And then you gain your power. Power. You got it? Full moon in Leo is bringing you into your power. I want to put that right there. And the snake. So, remembering we are coming out of the year of the snake, going into the year of the fire horse. There's a transformation that you've undergone. It's growing you. It's giving you wisdom and the knowledge of your own power. Not power compared to anybody else, not power in the ways that we see power being abused. It's like with that Ace of Wands and Queen of Wands, you are developing your own definition of what that power is. And that's why you need the silence. That's why you need to train your mind. You really need to, some of you would do really well in neuro-linguistic programming, which is something I'm certainly been interested in and continue to be over the last year, like rewiring the brain, neuroplasticity, the idea that talk about undoing conditioning and things that we've outgrown. Our brains are really resilient. And there is, when we say neuroplasticity, there is a way to rewire and rethink and recondition ourselves that's more in alignment with where we're going. That's what the snake helps you do so that you get into your power. All right? All right, pile number 3. I hope that was helpful. Again, and I've said this at the end of each of the 3 piles. So if you are interested in taking a look at the offerings from Otter Spirit, please do so. I'm going to put some links in the description box. And they've been kind enough to offer a discount code in my name. So again, I really am enjoying their offerings. I really enjoy their vibe. I've corresponded with their with their owners, and I just like them. I really do. I like them. Otherwise, this would not even be happening. All right. Take really good care of yourselves. Do your thing. Gotten some good messages there in this full moon in Leo, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.